Please welcome Kendra Scott, Chairman, Chief Executive Officer, and Founder, Kendra Scott, LLC.
How's everybody doing? I'm closing the show today. Are you all like super tired? Are we ready to have a little bit of fun? It's going to go fast. It's going to go fast. You ready for us? Okay. Well, first of all, I'm glad to be here. And I'm going to take you back. I love telling stories. I don't give speeches, I tell stories. So hopefully that's okay with this audience. It's 2002, and I've got a newborn baby. He's 3 months old, and he's in the car seat behind me in my Toyota Sequoia. It was a 2000 model. And I had a tea box, a wooden tea box that we had been given for our wedding that a friend actually made for me, filled with my little jewelry collection that I had made by hand in my 10 by 10 extra bedroom in my house. And I'm sitting in my Toyota Sequoia with this little baby behind me, about to walk in to my first store to sell my jewelry to. And my heart is like beating out of my chest. It's like I'm going to see Oprah, but it's a local boutique in Austin, Texas. And I get my little baby, and I strap on a baby Bjorn, and I put him inside, and I grab my tea box, and I literally go into the store, and I have to have somebody help me like get through the door because I have a baby and a tea box. It's very awkward, and I'm carrying a really ugly bag with my purchase orders that I printed out and made on Word, okay? This is real, and I'm talking to you today. All right, so here we go. So I get inside, and I'm going to show them my jewelry collection. And I always joke that I don't know if the store owner felt sorry for me or if she really liked the jewelry, but they gave me a chance. Now, if this would happen maybe in New York City, I may have gotten arrested. I don't know. But fortunately, I was able to show them my jewelry, and I remember taking out my little portfolio and my little Word-printed document, and I wrote an order that day. And then the next store, I did this 3 stores one day. And I made that collection with $500. And the last store I went to, I actually had to sell all of my samples so that I would have enough money to produce the orders that I had written that day. And I sold it for $1,200. And remember, I walked in, drove in, barreled into our house with the baby, and I'm like, we've got ourselves a business. We are in business. And as you can imagine, everything was just smooth sailing from there. It was just awesome. This was going to be a piece of cake, right? So here we go. We're plugging around. We're making things out of our extra bedroom. I know Pete Nordstrom is here. Nordstrom writes a purchase order. I get a showroom in New York City. Things are happening. Like, we're building a little business. And Nordstrom, they're so wonderful. Here I am, these young designer. They have no idea, right, that I'm like literally shipping their orders and packaging them on my dining room table. And UPS picked up their first order on my doorstep in Austin, Texas. And I remember sometimes they would call me, and they'd be like, you have to get your labels and everything very right. We all learn about this situation. The RAs are a real thing. And so if you don't have it 2 inches from the left down to the side, the blah, 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 they call you, and they're not happy with you. So they'd call me and say, we need to speak with somebody in your shipping and receiving. And I'm like, okay, hold please. Mom! And I'd yell down to my mom, who's down there in my dining room helping me, Mom! And she'd be like, Janet, shipping and receiving. And Nordstrom was like, yeah, fake it till you make it, baby. It's okay, Pete, we're good now. I can share this with you. We've come a long way. So here we are. We're selling just to other retailers because I had a little previous history where I had a hat company, okay? Hats were going to make a comeback. How many of you are wearing a hat today? So clearly that business didn't work out, and it was a retail store. So I said, I am never, ever going to get into retail again. Never, ever. So why would we do this, right? So here I am. I'm just selling wholesale. Everything is going great. We're growing. We're not moving huge mountains here. I'm not like doing crazy things, but we're opening new accounts. Pretty much didn't turn down any purchase order that would come our way. We weren't super picky in the early days. I built the business on lines of credit and credit cards, no investment capital in the early days. Then I became a single mom. Now I had a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. And so I'd schlep them to New York City at the E&K show, and we'd be setting up our little booth, and I had a baby in a bassinet. I don't even understand it now. I look back and I'm like, who was this crazy person? But then this magical, wonderful, amazing thing happened in 2008. Yay! Wasn't that fun? Wasn't it just a warm and fuzzy time every day? And we wake up, the recession hit. And here I am, I'm doing my business. I just have my little wholesale business. Everything's good. Every day I'd wake up and it was like a buyer that I had worked with was now, getting laid off, or a boutique that I had, worked with since the beginning was shuttering. Day after day, every day I would wake up and I would be getting these news. It was like devastating. And then the bank I had worked with, I never paid my payment late. I did everything I thought I was supposed to do right, was going to call my line of credit. Here I am, okay? I thought I was doing okay. I was paying our bills. I was raising my boys. I had a nice little company. And then this happens. So I'm on my kitchen floor, and I'm like a ball. I'm like in a mess. I'm crying, like, how can this happen? I'm going to lose everything. But this is when great things happen. Like what's happening even today. It's when things get really, really hard, or when something shifts that makes us pay attention to say, maybe I need to change my course. Maybe how I've been doing things isn't going to work anymore. Because it wasn't going to work anymore. For all these years, I had all of my eggs in one basket. I love my buyers, but I was so worried about pleasing them that I forgot the most important thing was to please my customer. I needed to talk to her, because if I could control what she wanted, what she desired, the buyers would have to write the purchase orders. I was so worried about pleasing everyone else, I forgot about the most important person. And so this beautiful gift, wrapped up with a big bow called the recession, forced us to do something radical. Retail. So 2010, we decided to open our very first store. We also put the rest of the money that I had into an online e-commerce business and created a customization tool with some local programmers in Austin, Texas called Color Bar. We opened the store, and I just remember thinking to myself, like, I said I was never going to go into retail again. And I had no idea when we opened the store what was going to happen. But I thought, if we're going to do it, we need to do it different than everybody else. I always remember going into a jewelry store and being terrified. You'd have to go up to the case, and then there'd be like a lady there, and you'd be like, excuse me, hi, can I see that underneath the glass? And then they'd kind of like look at you, judgy. You guys are in fashion. You have some judgy people sometimes. It's okay. And they pull it out, and then it's like they're looking at you like, you gonna buy it? Are you buying that? And it's scary, and you're like intimidated, and you're like, oh, I didn't realize the price, and you walk out. I wanted to take all the scary out of it. So at our store, jewelry is freely displayed. You can touch and feel it. There's no glass cases. There's Color Bar. There's all these fun things. And here we go. We're doing like this store, and it was wonderful, and people were waiting in line to come into the store. On Saturdays, we had to actually wait for people to leave to let people in. It was like One Oak in Vegas. I mean, we're hopping. It was hopping. Have you been to One Oak? You look, I could see you going to One Oak. Look at you, sassy. Like it. But all of this was based on core values, and I loved what the conference was today. It was create and renew. It was create and renew. When I started this, I was a new mom. That's Cade, the baby who went in the baby Bjorn. That's him grown up a little bit, and now he's 16, way taller than me. But it was family. I was a new mom. And when I was given this little baby, it's like the only thing that mattered to me in my life was to be the best mom I could possibly be to this little tiny human that I got to bring home with me. So building a company that represented this. How could I build a company that would allow me to be a great mother, but allow me to also have a culture that would encourage other mothers that they could have a great career and have a company that supported them? Our offices today from the 10 by 10 room are different, thank God. But we created a space that really supports family. And family to us just isn't lip service. Our 3 core values that you're going to learn about today, the first one is family. And what does that mean? What is family? Well, clearly I'm a mom. So for me, that's important. But I want to create an environment for my people that they know that they're my family. When they come in, they feel loved. They feel like they're in my home. Beautiful workspaces, and not just in our corporate headquarters. Our distribution center is something out of a magazine. They have a fitness center, a beautiful cafe, chandeliers. There are chandeliers in our distribution center. Why do you do this? That's an area where you could have real cost savings. It's because every employee, no matter who they are, no matter what they do, need to be valued and appreciated like my family. My mother works in that distribution center. I have 2,000 almost daughters that work there. They're my family, and I want them to have a beautiful place. Our back rooms in our stores look just as beautiful as the front of house. Why do we do those things? Because I want them to know they're loved. In our offices, this is just a few of the perks. So if any of you, I know you're all CEOs and big-time folks, but, you do get your nails done at Kendra Scott. It's a perk. When you're 98% women in our company, these are good perks. We have a wellness rooms for nursing moms. You can bring your babies to work. This is not typical in the fashion industry. We have a kids room with video games and toys and books. Why do we do these things? Because I did it. I was a mom, and my little son came with me some days. There were days I needed that. And these women, mothers, work their asses off. Mothers can juggle a million things at once, and they get things done, guys, let me tell you. And if you give them the respect and the love and the care, they will fight and will do anything for you. But you just have to respect them to say, hey, I know you can do it all. They are super women. We are filled with super women. Our customers are our family. This is a customer I surprised on Mother's Day with fine jewelry in one of our stores. We treat our customers like family. We have something we call the sister rule. It's really simple. Again, looking at how retail has been, you used to go into a store, and how many of you know you go in and you ask for something, you return something, it's this huge ordeal. And then they're like, oh, well, my manager's not on duty, so I can't do that for you. So I'm really sorry, like you're gonna have to come back, I don't know, maybe Friday she'll be here, but I'm not certain. What kind of experience is that? So we said we wanna change that. I wanna give every single person the power to please in that moment. I don't care who you are, what you do, whether you're part-time sales associate, holiday help, you have the power to make that customer happy in that moment. And I will reward you for at least doing something. Treat her like your sister. If your sister had a broken earring, would you fix it? Of course you would. It's easy to have policy when you can clearly understand what you should do. And for us, family is one word, but it means a lot of different things. Fashion. So my aunt was fashion director at Gimbel's department store in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's where I grew up, right outside of Milwaukee, in a little town called Kenosha. You guys know it's the fashion mecca of the world. Really fashionable place. Kenosha hates me for saying this every time. I love Kenosha, but she was fashion director. And my other side of my family were farmers and coal miners. Not exactly fashion, but the hardest working people on the planet. But in my aunt's closet is where I learned about fashion and how magical it was. And that it didn't matter where you were from, Kenosha, Wisconsin, or anywhere in the world. You could feel different. You could feel beautiful. Fashion was magical. I knew I wanted to be in fashion since my first hat business, but I wanted to do it right. I wanted to look at where was there white space in the market. For me, as a new mom, I love semi-precious stones. I love beautiful cut stones, but I couldn't afford them. And there were either very high-end brands that were out of my reach or low-end brands that would just fall apart the first time you'd wear them. I thought, if there was a way that I could make an attainable price point, but beautiful quality for women, and also figure out how to make it identifiable, that we would be filling a void. Every day, we live by this passion of fashion, and we hire people that want to do this, that this is what their little childhood dream was, that they're excited to come to work each day. In that picture is Denise. She's been with me 13 years. My original Super 7 are all still with me. She's a rock star. We read each other's mind, and we have so much fun every day. We talked about lifestyle brands earlier. I loved this conversation, and I agree. I think it's important today that you keep a true identity and that you continue to fill a void in the marketplace, not just to slap a logo on a product and then say that's part of a lifestyle brand. It has to have a reason for being. It has to be authentic. There has to be a reason that your customers want this, or they're missing something that they can't get somewhere else. We have been in jewelry now 16 years, and we started to branch out into things organically. We started to make beautiful trays for our stores from the materials that we were using in our jewelry and boxes. And guess what? Our customers wanted to purchase them. And organically, that happened because there was demand, and our customer loved these things that we were creating. And so we started to launch jewelry for your home. You know, the nail lacquer, we have colored gemstones, and what girl doesn't like her gemstones to match her nails? And so out of a need, again, for me, I wanted the exact turquoise that we use in a polish. I wanted my rose gold. I didn't want someone else's rose gold. I wanted my gunmetal. And so we started to create some really beautiful products with a red thread. They have to be from our point of view. They have to fill a need. And we'll take our time to do it. There's no rush to jump into a category for the sake of rushing into a category. We have our customer. We stay true to this. We try to be approachable, relatable, identifiable no matter where you are living, whether you're in Kansas City, Kenosha, Wisconsin, New York City, or London. We want to be an approachable brand, a friendly brand, and we stay true to that. I have a rule. Our models have to smile. That's just my brand. We're happy. We're approachable. We're loving. We're kind. When you come into our stores, you receive a warm hug, literally. If you don't like hugs, you may not want to come to our store. It's okay. We became identifiable by creating our own shapes so you could recognize them. We use innovative design with our metal types of stones. Here we're layering stones to create a shell with rock crystal on top. We're always challenging ourselves to be innovative and never being complacent. I think that today it's so easy to just get into, okay, this is how we do it, and this is how we do it. Every day I'm like, what can we do to wow her? What can we do to surprise and delight her today? What could we do differently today in this store that we're building that we didn't do last time? That never becoming complacent, always trying to figure out how we can just blow her away has really become part of our brand. Our stores are an experience. I mean, truly, when you walk in, you can customize your jewelry right in front of you. That's fun. People want to be part of something, and it's not just about customization today. It's how are they feeling when they're leaving your store? How are you engaging them, whether it's in brick and mortar or digitally? How are you communicating with them that makes them feel special? Philanthropy. That's what this whole thing started on. My stepfather had brain cancer, and before he passed away, he was in a wheelchair, and I brought him to my hat store, and I was doing headwear for women undergoing chemotherapy. And he was very, very proud. And at that point in his life, he could only say a few words at a time. He knew everything that was going on. And he said 3 words to me, and they were, "You do good." He basically said that with the gifts you've been given, that you need to do something good with it. And so philanthropy has been everything for us. We live it every single day. Our customers are part of this. We do community outreach projects. We have 7,000 events last year. We gave over $3 million to 1,300 women's and children's charities. We gave over 70,000 pieces of jewelry to organizations all over the United States. For us, this has always been the reason why. This is our why. We felt like if we could do something impactful, something meaningful, that would be success. Family, fashion, philanthropy are 3 words, but every single person that works at Kendra Scott lives those core values. Those 3 things are so fundamentally important to us. Our customers know exactly what our brand represents, and their loyalty to us is so unique because of how we've engaged with them in such a meaningful way. Whether you have core values in your company today, whether you are trying to create new core values, it's not just words on a page. It's not like We have fun and work hard, play hard. What are some of these like spin ones that you see on some of these? Take that off if you have that on your core values list. But really think about it. If you have a legacy or old brand that maybe you're revitalizing the core values and making them true for what it is today, engaging your employees to say, let's talk about the core values of this brand and how can we bring this to life in a meaningful way? How can we touch our customers in a meaningful way? You know, or if you haven't developed core values, it's never too late to start. It's never too late to start. Hey, we're going along this path. Now what do we want to do today? Each year we also have a theme. This year's theme is Go Beyond. Everyone has a very clear, aligned vision at Kendra Scott, and it's really simple because we all know where we're going. We know the destination. We started with $500, and we wanted to be a $1 billion brand. We just got valued at over $1 billion from that extra bedroom. It's like hard to get around. I mean, you guys are the PE people. When the people called me to tell me the valuation situation, I was like, did you just say a B? Was there a B in that number? It's hard to get my head around, but now I know where we're going. We're building a legacy brand, and it's exciting. Not a lifestyle brand, a legacy brand. I want the Kendra Scott brand to be here long after I'm gone, whatever that looks like, that my boys can be proud of, that my grandchildren could be proud of. And every single person in our company knows where we are going today, and we are so excited to get there together. That is our family fashion philanthropy. We are a fashion lifestyle brand of big dreams, colorful confidence, and inspired design, founded on family, fashion, and philanthropy. We believe that our employees and our customers are the heart and soul of our brand, and that giving back is the truest form of success. That's it. I did it in just the amount of time. I'm so relieved. Whew. Do you guys have questions? You do? Yes.
How did you finance your growth was pretty quick. One store in 2010.
10.
How did you ramp up?
So I didn't take any investment capital till 2012. I started in 2002. So you can imagine what that 10 years looked like. It was pretty rough. In 2012, I actually had a mentor who was a really great friend of mine, and he did a very small investment, 5%. And then we brought in a PE firm for 20% later. And so that really helped us kind of fuel. We had already had the store models going. We could really see the excitement that was building within the store and what we were doing digitally. And then we were able to go from there. So it's been very, very exciting. Thank you. I would love to tell you about our international strategy. You know, we're working on it. I think we have a lot to do still in the United States. There's still so much opportunity here for us. We started in Texas. We're building our brand out. We're just getting to the coast. I'm actually visiting our Georgetown store tomorrow here on the East Coast. We just opened Century City in Los Angeles. So, you know, we still are doing a lot of exciting things here and a lot of work to do here. But we are going in international, and through Nordstrom in Canada, that's been a wonderful partnership. And then we're about to open in, I think I can announce this. Can I announce it? Okay, Lon, thank you. Selfridges, we're doing our first shop-in-shop in London on Oxford. So that will be happening at the end of November. So we're getting there, and there's a lot of exciting things on the forefront, and I really feel 2019-ish is going to be a big year for us on the international scope. Yeah. So she asked how we bring philanthropy into the communities on a local level. And so what we do is we never say no at Kendra Scott. So no matter who calls us, we always have something to give. When I started out of the extra bedroom of my house, I decided that whoever called, I would be able to make a pair of earrings, I could make a necklace. Now we are 16 years later, we have a policy where we don't say no. And so it can be a large organization, it could be a hometown crisis like the hurricanes recently, or it could be a friend in need. You may have a girlfriend who has her son in the hospital and needs help with their medical bills. We can throw a Kendra Gives Back event for her, and that's really been impactful. Our customers are part of our philanthropy. We engage them personally, and we try to be there for them in a really personal way. And it's just something that we started really grassroots out of my bedroom, and here we are 16 years later, and we're not changing what we do.
That valuation, I believe, came from a deal with Berkshire. How did you choose them as a partner?
You know, it was like dating, as you know. It was so hard because there are so many wonderful firms, but we really felt our values lined up. I think at the end of the day, they were, you know, you look at the deal, of course, but for us, we looked at the heart, and they really represented a lot of the same things that we shared, and we really loved them as people, and we really felt like we had a true aligned vision, and we knew where we wanted to take this brand together, and I felt like they would be a tremendous partner to do that with. But it was quite the process, but it ended up very, very great. We feel very blessed to have the partners we have today.
Are there any other questions?
Don't be afraid. You can really ask me anything. The biggest lesson I learned from being grassroots is probably to bring investment capital in a little sooner than 10 years. Because grassroots is like fun, kind of. And then when you're eating top ramen, like for the 5th night in that week, it's not as fun. But no, it is, you know what I think it is? I think that I still have that inside of me. I think being able to say that I've done every single job in the company, from accounts receivable to fulfillment and logistics to design to shipping, I think is really valuable. And when, you know, as we grow, it's how do I keep that small company feeling in a larger company today? And, you know, how do we keep that connection to our customer? I'm thankful for how we started. I have a unique perspective running a company now the size that it is, starting the way that we did. There are hard days. Surround yourself with like awesome people that believe in you even when you kind of don't believe in yourself, if that makes sense. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.